Hi, this is Brian David Marshall coming to you from the Tournament Center at Pro Tour Kyoto. We're here to do a little draft tack. It's the start of day 2 of the Pro Tour. We're here with Charles Gindy. Charles talked to Randy yesterday a little bit about his constructed deck, and now we're going to talk a little bit about draft. The big story in draft has been Esper. Everyone's been talking about how desirable the Esper deck is, how deep Esper is in the third pack, and how you want to get set up for it in those first 2 shards packs. So I had the opportunity to sit behind Charles for the first draft of day 2. He was at a X and 2 table.
Yes.
And, if you sweep this table, you put yourself in a good position to make another top 8.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I have a really good shot this time. I started out with a Leviathan. It's not the best Esper card, but, it can go in Esper, and I think the card's really, really good.
Now, did you want to be Esper when you sat down at the table?
I did want to start out forcing Esper. I wanted to do it at my first table, and I just went with signals, and then everything went downhill, and Esper just kept coming, and my deck ended up poor, but I did 2-1, so I ended up still being 5-2 for the day, and I came into this draft just saying I'm going to play Esper, pretty much look for the Esper cards. If any Esper signal's coming, I'm going to try to force it. So when I got an Arcane Sanctum second, I love the Tri-Land so much. I'll take them first over a lot of cards. In fact, I first picked Jungle Shrine in my first draft, so it's not uncommon for people to take them first. And Esper is one of the decks that you have so many 2-drops in both blue-white and blue-black that you need something like a Tri-Land and the Panoramas to make it good.
Yeah, I think this card's more important in Esper than any of the other Tri-Lands are in any of the other shards.
And I would agree with that as well, because the blue-black, all the good Esper cards are gold almost. So yeah, it's really important to have mana fixing like Arcane Sanctums or Esper Panoramas for your deck. And then after that, I got a third pick Cloudheath Drake.
Now, you nearly took a Cloudheath Drake with your first pick over the Leviathan.
Yes. Again, I was trying to force Esper, and I knew I wanted to play it, but Leviathan is one of those cards that can just win you the game by itself. And Cloudheath Drake, while it's really, really solid at 5 mana, 3/3 flyer, vigilance, and it's an artifact creature for the Esper deck, sometimes you just want that late game card for your deck, and that's why I ended up taking Leviathan over it.
Now, I don't know. I was agonizing with you over your next pick. You had an option between these 2 cards.
Yes.
If you're the Esper player, which one do you take?
Well, in this situation, I took the Executioner's Capsule, and I've been talking it over with multiple different pros, such as David Irvine and Julian De Los Santos and a couple other of my Floridian friends, and they all said Executioner's Capsule, so I had to listen to them and take the capsule. I don't know though, Gargoyle's so insane in the deck. Like if you get 2 Gargoyles, you can just block and keep going in this circle, and people can't deal with it sometimes. So I still don't know if I made the right pick.
And then you got a Gargoyle with your 5th pick.
Yeah, that was the pretty clear signal.
I mean, do you feel blessed at that point?
Absolutely blessed, I was praying for a second Gargoyle in the second pack or a 6th pick one, I thought at that point I was just clear Esper all the way. I got really late Esper cards in the first pack still. I got a really late Windright Mage in the last pack. And I got 3 Strixes, so yeah.
But pack 2 didn't look as deep for you. I mean, you opened up on Tidehollow Sculler.
Over the Fleshbag Marauder. I almost took Fleshbag Marauder just because I thought I was the only Esper player and I might be able to wheel that card, but it is a really powerful spell for the Esper deck, so I ended up go ahead and take the Shuller's first pick out of that pack instead, and just stuck to my guns.
Right, and then you went Strix, Esper Charm or something, I think. I don't know. You can look in the draft viewer and see exactly what picks he made and what cards he had to compare these to. The Strix seemed pretty clear to me.
Yeah, the Strixes they're really, really powerful now, especially with the Parasite Strix in the third pack. So you have a 2-drop black creature that's also a flyer, and then you get to drain him for 2 and add another flyer.
Well, I mean, this card's great because in the third pack, you have, not only do you have Parasitic Strix as your 3rd drop, but you also sometimes have Sidraxis Alchemist.
Oh,
and
yeah.
This card turns both of them on.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a blue permanent and a black permanent for 2 different really great 3-drops in the 3rd pack.
Yeah, absolutely. And Alchemist is insane too. If I would have saw one of those, I probably would have slammed it. So,
right. So now you open up pack 3, and you had a choice between Esper Comorants which a lot of people agree is one of the best aggro
Agreed.
creatures in the format.
Yeah, 4-mana 3/3 flyer, below the curve, obviously really, really good.
Now, you could have taken Parasitic Strix.
Right.
What were you thinking?
Well, the only thing I'm thinking about with the Strix is, in the Esper deck, you do generally go into single digits pretty fast because all the other decks are faster than yours, and you're just sitting there with all these good flyers, but the flyers are 2 powered, and they're playing 3 powered creatures that can cost as little as 1 mana. So sometimes your deck's really slow, and the fact that it drains life, like you gain 2 life, is really important. I think Windwright Mage is also a really important card for the deck because, like I said, lifelink or something that gains you life in this deck is insane. So that's why I was really considering it, but on the outside, like, this card's just infinitely better.
And can punch through some of the guys that can block flyers. Like, sometimes you have the 2-power flyers and they can't get through a Court Archer
or a Quasali Ambusher or something like that.
Well,
yeah.
This guy just punches right through.
He's cheap, efficient, awesome.
So you go second pick, Vidalcan Outlander.
Pro Red, pretty standard. Like, the Pro Bears are all really good. You want to draft them pretty early if you're playing a deck like in the red-black deck. You want the red-black guy as fast as possible, you know. So I thought that was a pretty clear standout pick. I definitely want Pro Red, especially since my deck's going to be a little bit slower. So
and then
I got blessed with
Cormorants.
another Cormorants. There wasn't really anything else to take, and 3/3 flyers for 4 is what I'm going to keep taking.
Right.
So,
and then you get Richard Banquet. This is a card I've seen go pretty late.
I've gotten it as late as 14th a couple times, and it doesn't make sense to me. It's not as bad as people have viewed the card. It's sort of like a Yoke to the Damned.
Right.
That people just see these cards that aren't destroy a creature that I want.
Right. It's not a straight up terror.
Yeah, it's not straight up kill whatever I want, and they just assume it's mediocre to bad.
Right.
But like, especially in the Esper deck, where your land's sometimes bad, and you only get like a black and a blue, and you need the white. Like, they're gonna play a creature before you, and you just kill their first dude. You don't have to play a dude right away, and sometimes you can't because your mana base is pretty bad.
And then this seemed amazing to me. I was shocked.
A third pick Cormorants.
Yeah, third Cormorant, fifth pick in the draft. So you have to be the only Esper player at your table. I mean, you just got everything you wanted. It seemed like to me.
It would seem as so, but I'm pretty sure that there's at least 2 other Esper players in my draft. I think Rabbits is playing Esper, and Fabiano are both playing Esper.
Wow.
So it looks like, you know, even though I got all these really good cards, there are still a lot out there. The Esper packs in the first 2 packs were really deep.
Right.
So,
and it is just naturally deep in Esper in the third pack.
Oh yeah, it's very deep in the third pack. In fact, like, when I was talking to Jerry T before the Pro Tour, and he specifically commented how he just like Esper, you could just take all the spells now and just get 9 good creatures out of the third pack. Because there's so many good Esper creatures. Even Court Homunculus is really good.
I love Court Homunculus.
Yeah, I think Court Homunculus is a really good 1-drop, and people are way underrating that card as well, especially in their Esper decks. So that's one you might want to look out for.
Cool. Well, thanks a lot, Charles.
No
This is Brian David Marshall for Charles Gindy from the Tournament Center. We'll be back with more coverage from Pro Tour Kyoto.